Well, just doing my post-Thanksgiving update. Obviously, you can see some things have changed in here. I've moved into winter mode. So the bubble wrap, the lights, the heater, all have been installed for the winter, and it's nice and warm in here, about 75 degrees. And the heater keeps the greenhouse at a really good humidity, so things don't rot and get overly humid in here. You can say it's about 75%. And yeah, and the lights help with that too. But it's a really nice time of year in here. Everything does still slow down, but at least it's kind of nice to come out here during the evening when it's dark and be able to see everything still, and everything's looks really good in this lighting. So without further ado, go ahead and do a little tour, some updates. The Jack Linear is kind of out of the light here. I'm just going to kind of let this thing do its thing without too much light this winter. Maybe I'll switch it with the jam band once in a while, but I might rotate it off. But for the most part, it's going to have to make do with this situation here. And here's the Nepenthes jam band, sporting that nice upper right here. And then a lot of basil growth on this side of the plant, and a nice vine. And hopefully it puts out some uppers this winter. It looks like it's going to do that off the main vine. And then here's Nepenthes enormous, opening up a small but new pitcher. This thing got stressed over the summer. It didn't like, I don't really like the heat at the top of the greenhouse, so it looked a little stressed in the main vine, but it looks good now. But it is putting out a shoot here, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, I'm interested to see if there's going to be lowers or uppers on this growth. Wouldn't mind either. Some more uppers would be cool off a new vine, but I also wouldn't be opposed to seeing some lower kind of like aerial rosettes almost. Some air plants in here as well. And let's see, what can I show easily? The Argentea I really didn't like being crashed on last month. It's showing a little bit of signs of stress, but it does have this pitcher open here, this tiny little kind of rusty orange with a dark peristome and some teeth. Cool little species. Happy to have it in here. Here's Bti. That's a basil pitcher, and that pitcher off the mother vine is still looking okay. I think it's starting to go. It's starting to dry up the tip of the lid, but for the most part, it's still pretty good form. This thing does not pitcher well in the winter, so I'm not expecting this to do much in the upcoming months, but hopefully by spring and summer, we'll have some nice big pitchers. This one's kind of stayed the same size for a while. And this is the second Grex that Borneo Exotics released. And next to that is Raja Jack Linear. This is from Jeremiah Harris. Or it's not directly from Jeremiah Harris. I bought it through a distributor, but it was this Grex was released by Jeremiah. He crossed his Raja and his Jack Linear. And there is a new picture that's opening. I'll update you guys on that one soon. I love this cross. I always express a lot of enjoyment for it when I highlight it. And here, as per one of my viewers' requests, is my Lowii. I'll focus on it a little bit more than I usually would. This is the Truth Natty form from Flora Collaborative a few years ago. Really stunning clone. Elongated, kind of dark hourglass pitchers with a ton of lid bristles and a beautiful peristome. And just a really good looking little specimen. Another one that seemed to get a little stressed over the summer, but I feel like winter is very rehabilitative for a lot of these plants. Everything that was maybe stressed from the heat, which is not usually a lot of stuff, but if stuff was stressed over the summer, it comes back pretty strong over the winter with this setup. It's very soothing on the plants. Here's Helium Forest, Sarracenoides, across some minor burgundy black. One of my few Helios that have done pretty well, regardless of the fact that I don't apparently have whatever it takes to keep these alive for the most part, or at least for very long. They usually die within a year or two after looking spectacular. It's the sudden death thing that happens with them. Here is Ventricosta Cross Bti. Beautiful picture on this one. All the pictures are beautiful. Unfortunately, when I was moving out, or when I was moving all the light stuff in here, I was moving a lot of my plants out, and this accident happened. The newest picture for me on it got torn off. It was a really stupid mistake. And there is one of those other pictures. Just a beautiful little cross. got that one, I think, in August 2022. So I've had it for about a year and a half, and it's done pretty well. It's not super fast for a Ventricosa cross, but it is, you know, fairly vigorous, I guess. Here's the Bti Lowii cross Edward Sienna from Floride. And I got this almost exactly 3 years ago. Got it on a Black Friday sale, about $40 off in fall of 2020. It was a tiny seedling, you know, 1.5 inches, more like half an inch. And it's done nothing but well. It's been always very vigorous. So very thankful for this one. Really love it. Really cool Edward Sienna cross. At the time, Edward Sienna crosses were a lot more rare, so this was a big purchase for me. But now, you know, now that Eddie's a little more common these days, it's still very enjoyable, but it's not quite as rare or coveted or something. But I love this cross. I'm so happy I have it. This is the old picture from July, still holding very strong. Makes a lot of exudate on the underside of the lid, and has a new picture coming here. And I measured this guy the other day, and it was 19 inches, so it's put on a lot of size. Here's my Peltata. Highlighted this guy recently, but that is a lovely picture that I put out. Great colors, great development, nice and squat. This is the 3464. And here is Burbigia Vicia Mollis, seed grown from Westuba, very mollusy plant, and that is a glorious new picture. I just love the way this one keeps kind of developing. It's very subtle in its developments in the last week or two, but somehow it just gets a little bit squatter, or it just gets a little more gradiated on the peristome. I can't quite explain it, but this one's really peaking and looking amazing. And then the peristome will turn into a chocolate color eventually, like that. That's a smaller picture, but it's holding strong to all of its pictures, and for once the leaves just look perfect. This really seemed to be susceptible to like thrips or something. It'll always be slight thrip damage on it, even if I was treating it. So I don't know, but it looks good now. And here's a couple of Bti. This is the Big Mama Cross Pink Candy Stripe from Carnivoro with a new picture here. And there's my Bti B that I finally brought out into the greenhouse recently. About to pop a new one. So two very promising young Bti. Excited to see what these B pictures look like. They seem to be kind of all over the map. Sometimes they're pale, and sometimes they're very Katie Dreams colored. So we will see. And I'm excited. And then here's my Macrophylla Cross Lowii. And unfortunately, this fairly new picture is already drying up his lid. And what I really hate about these pictures, as spectacular as they are, they take forever to dry up. So I feel like they take more time to dry up and kind of crumble apart than they do to actually peak and stay looking nice. Like, they'll be open for like, I don't know, 5 months, and then you'll see the lid start drying up, and then by the time the picture's fully dried up, it takes like another 5 months. So it's just like they're always in this limbo of being kind of half dried up, and I just find that kind of annoying. But here is the top. Pretty big plant. I'm looking forward to seeing how big the next year's pictures are. They're always a little incrementally bigger each spring and summer. So, and these were pretty big. These were like 8-inch pictures. So maybe next year we'll see some close to a foot. Maybe start seeing some intermediates. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know if this is really that close to vining. Here's Rob-kly. Looks really good in this lighting. This dark picture right here, kind of shiny. Beautiful plant. And this one, like I've told you guys before, had a setback last year at one point when it was getting too much water on the leaves, and it's looking pretty good again. This picture's about back to normal size, close to normal size. I mean, I think the ones it was putting out before that accident were a bit bigger, but looks like it's pretty much right back where it was, so that's good. Here is an Nepenthes Bti, the BE 3734. That's the latest picture right here, and has some basal growth. Pretty big plant, you know, like 19 inches. And yeah, and then there's a Rob-kly Crossomata. Speaking of Rob-kly, this needs a better spot. None of these pictures are in very good view. It's also probably needs some water too. I guess there's a picture right here. It's starting to go. This media needs replacing. It dries out way too fast. But yeah, we'll see if I can get a better angle of that. it's so crowded in here now. I'm having trouble maneuvering. Yeah, so I don't know. You guys have seen it before. It's very dark and toothy, which, like a lot of my plants are, like a lot of toothy stuff. Here's my 21-inch Nepenthes Naga. This is a seed ground from Christian Klein. Pretty big picture here. All dark and plum colored now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing intermediates and uppers. I love the uppers on Bonzo and Naga, especially in contrast with the lowers. So hopefully it springs a basil for some lowers, and then we'll see some uppers with that. And there is Trincata, Northiana, Bti, Fipiata, Voglii, Talented Vision from Predatory Plants, still holding on to that picture right here. It looks just a lot like Voglii, slightly different shape. Really taken off, enjoying my conditions. And let's see if I can get to anything back there. That would be cool, but I don't know if I can. It's very crowded in here right now, and I'm fairly broad-shouldered and not exactly small, so it's gonna be hard to get back there. There's glandula for a Fipiata that I got 3 years ago from the fall, red leaf import. Just huge vine now. Probably about, including the pot, probably about 4.5 feet tall. Want it to flower. I'm not gonna chop it till I see some kind of either basil growth or a flower. So at some point I want to do that though. And here is Raja Loia Bti. This one I think has a chance at finishing up that pitcher. It does not like the pitcher in the winter, but it's really close to the light, so maybe it gets the energy to finish up that pitcher. But I don't expect much more from it for the rest of the winter. Still holding on to this pitcher really well. A lot of exudate too, and nectar on the lid. This pitcher, this one's also very slow to dry up. Like, you'll see the first signs of it starting to dry up, and then maybe 3 months later it'll finally be about halfway dried up. So it's a very slow process, but very Raja-like plant from Wistuba. Very beautiful. One of my favorites. Turned into a superstar this year. Got that in what was it, like I think August 2021, September 2021, something like that. So I'll just start over on this side. It's easier to access. This is the Spatulata Jocelynii, and in between these two plants, that's where I'm kind of struggling to move. And this is a vining plant with a basil, right here. Pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing these uppers. I've seen them before in pictures, but I want to see uppers of my own. Here's the latest picture. Probably won't get super dark just because the light levels are not as strong right now, but kind of interesting coloration on the more intermediates. Some green splotching, whereas these are more solid colored, pretty much all purple. And then here is the Truncata Titanic Tyrant. Not getting a ton of light from that light, but Truncata is like a house plant, so maybe I think it'll succeed with lower light levels. And there is the newest picture, and I doubt this one's going to color up much. I don't mind, because I like it when they stay green like this. And then Peltata Jocelynii, growing incredibly fast. Got this in the red leaf import last year. Super excited to see a cool Jocelynii cross. And it has a new picture coming, just sprawling out, getting big. Spatulata diabolica, 2 vines and a flower, just going crazy. And it's got it's activating a bunch of nodes and stuff too. Activating node on the vine right here, and another one somewhere else. Oh, right over here. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to chop this one back at some point. I don't have room for all this growth, so I'll chop it back, and then I'll probably try to root some. And if I'm actually successful with that, which I rarely am, then I'll sell some off. And then Singulana, Bellarang here. Not a ton of pictures on it right now. In the summer, it usually has a good amount, and it's vines, and it's produced so much basil growth and so many vines. It's crazy. Like, I've had this for about 6 years, and prolific grower, very easy. Never had an issue with it. These are my pings, like Cherry Bomb from California Carnivores, and then whatever this is, I got from a Bay Caps meeting. And then this one here, starting to really settle in and do well. This is Mollarensis cross or John Rizzo. So I don't really know much about pings, but that's what that is. It's a pretty nice big size ping. Here's my Hypnophytum formicarum. And some orchids back there that are not in bloom. And then here's Ventricosa lowii with the second picture in my care, really settling in and doing well now. Beautiful picture on this one right here and there. And then Denziflora camiri. And my Mollis back there. Covered in, oh my god, I don't know, I didn't even see all that clover. I need to fix that up. But it hasn't pictured yet, but hopefully in the spring. And here's LBV cross Spatulata Edwardsiana. Really nice looking new picture, very ribbed and toothy, and good colors. I can't quite, it's really a struggle to stand in that posture. So, Vitae lowii, I put this one in a place where I thought it would get better light, because the last picture was really lame, but that picture looks more like it has more potential. So we'll see how that one ends up looking. Looks like it's developing well. My Peltata 4025 with nothing too interesting on it right now. Here's my Truncata Highland reddish leaves with a beautiful new picture on it. This one, the pictures just start off fantastic. They don't age great though, unfortunately. I find that they exude a lot of soot mold and get really kind of, or they exude a lot of nectar that gets soot mold growing on it. I mean, and then the lids do some weird stuff. So, but you know, I really liked them when they first opened. And this one's not growing so fast. It's not a whole lot bigger than it was a few years ago. I mean, I got this 2 years ago in the fall, and I'd say, yeah, it's developed. It's come a little ways, but it's not, you know, like this is still a very small picture for this particular form of this species. You know, these get like 17, 18 inches tall. So, and speaking of big pictures, here is Truncata Edwardsiana with a massive foot tall picture here. And these also get like 17, 18 inches tall. This is huge. This is Exotica Plants. Got this from Winston, who, when he had to get rid of his collection, getting too big. It's like a philodendron, basically, with pictures. And then here is Spatulata Aristocuides cross lowii. Just a really interesting color. You just don't see that much on the Nepenthes, with the greenish speckled body and that reflective purple peristome and all those lid hairs. Nice cross, and then has some upper pictures back there, but I'm gonna have to chop this one at some point because can't really see the vine anyway. It might be cool, but I wanted to get a flower out of it, but who knows when that's gonna happen. So, and here is Truncata Hamada Predator, also from Winston. Not bad first picture. I think Hamada and Rob-kly go together a little better, but this is still a really cool cross. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one does over the course of the next year or two. Doesn't seem to need a lot of light like Hamada and Truncata, so that's not really an issue being under the table like that. There's Versia Gigantea. I might move this one out just a tiny bit so it's a little more light exposure, but just getting way too big. Huge plant, beautiful. I absolutely love it. When people ask me what my favorite plants in the greenhouse are, I definitely always mention this one. Sometimes I try to focus on other stuff that's not just Nepenthes, and you know, some of the other plants I have I really like. That said, my focus is Nepenthes. And there's Vitae lowii spectabilis. A lot of pictures on it. Gonna have to give this one some water since it dries out a lot, but this is one of those plants that always has kind of shitty looking leaves, but pictures are nice. And it's got one up there too. Bellii Aristolo, that one needs water for sure. See if we can get some of that stuff back there. It's Ventricosa porcelain from Winston. What a gorgeous, gorgeous Ventricosa. Let's see. Yeah, love that. Amazing. And it's a prolific grower. I already got basils and vines, which when I acquired it did not have those, so it's just going crazy back here. Got a lot of light back there too, because there's not as much, there's no shade cloth back there, at least during the summer. Talon gets his Bti Boschiana, just vining, another 8 shade plant. Maxima Clipiata, Palinensis, Platykyla, and yeah, Bulbergia Dark Vader down there. Hopefully don't forget about that one in the corner over there. Well, I definitely need to do some watering. Here's one I always forget about. This is Bulbergia Bti. Always beautiful, beautiful pictures, especially when they're new. Just so like Truncata Highland reddish leaves, just so luminous when they first open, and then kind of fade and look like bananas at some point. And here is Rocco Boschiana Bti from Carnivoro. New picture on it. Really nice. I'm starting to really develop and mature a bit. Slow grower, but very easy. Looks very healthy all the time, which I really like. It's going to need a repot, but gorgeous, gorgeous cross. Wow. I need to take a picture of that at some point. Very, very nice. And then Epiphytica cross mollis. Beautiful. Got a new picture coming. This plant got way bigger than I expected. But yeah, Bellii, Macfurlani, or Ilucaliana, looking good. And yeah, that's about all I really want to show right now. A little 20-minute update. Had some time this evening to do this, so figured I would go all in and give you guys a thorough update. I think that's pretty much everything. I don't think I left much out. At least that's worth showing. So yeah, post Thanksgiving Nepenthes greenhouse tour.